Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Your 20s in the 2020s. This is Zed, I'm Manal, and we are excited to talk about another topic today.
hmm Also, Manal, then introduce our third host. Luna has joined us today as well.
Hi,
Um,
Luna.
Hi, Luna. But anyways, the topic that we want to talk about today is expectations. In a broader sense, I guess we would call it expectations in South Asian households. So obviously, I have my experience with it, and Manal has her experience with it. And the way that I feel like our experiences sort of differ is that I'm the eldest in my household and she's the youngest. So why
Oh.
don't we just start talking about it there? And Manal, how is it for you? What kind of expectations have you encountered in your South Asian household?
In my South Asian household, all the brown boys and girls unite. How fun.
hmm
Um, Honestly, as a youngest child, I would say that I was blessed for a lot of things because my brother actively paved the way for a lot of things in my life, whether it be things to get permission for, things to do in life. He personally wanted to pursue something different from what he studied, stuff like that. So it kind of made it easier for me to get into that and maybe explain what I wanted to do in life or follow a different path more easily without having to be constricted from the normal South Asian methods of what you should do in life. So I would personally say that I was quite lucky in that aspect. And being the younger child, you kind of have some more leverage because parents have already handled a child once. I can kind of
Exhibit A.
breathe. I can kind of breathe and figure things out on my own pace, which I was really happy to do at least. And my parents, bless them, love them, they were super supportive about me moving abroad and pursuing an art degree, which is very different for South Asian parents. I completely understand. I have a lot of friends who did not get to pursue that and went through different avenues. But I also do think being a younger child helps on that too.
Definitely, definitely, without a
I
doubt.
think older stuff was probably different for you, Zed, no?
Yeah, I was sort of the lab experiment, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think something very interesting that I realized much later on, I'd say when I had actually grown up a little bit, was that it's not just my first time being a teenager or a 20-year-old. It's also my parents' first time dealing with a teenager slash 20-year-old. So I guess it's a slightly important distinction that I learned to make much later on in life, but it did sort of make it easier and help me understand why I wouldn't say put through, I'd say went through the
True.
things that I went through and just the situations that I had to deal with. But yeah, it is a bit harder when you're sort of paving the way. I think I would say that I relate to your brother a little bit more in this regard
Oh,
than I do with you.
100%.
Because I also have a younger brother and it is different for him and I see it being different for him, but I am quite happy for him. I'm not envious or anything because I made it out already, so it's fine. Huh, huh.
He says the same thing. So I
Yeah,
totally get it. It's
yeah.
very nice to see a different dynamic when it comes to older and younger siblings and like having that support system, I think especially in a brown household because I don't know about you guys, but brown parents are stubborn. They are. It's they're really stubborn.
My way or the highway type shit.
So getting that kind of support from a sibling you connect with, or if he's older, then he's kind of gone through that already. So you get advice. Or if you're the older one, you can kind of help the younger sibling to understand and navigate those kind of spaces and really create a better relationship with your parents and your family as an overall, or at least work to create a better aspect for what you want in life, regardless of the situation you're in, which I think is really cool when you have siblings to help you do that. Sorry to
For
all the
sure.
only children out there, man. I can't relate.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It is that way. And it was, I'd say, a lot harder for me than it was for Aman, but that's my younger brother. But it's fine. Like it's okay. It's not a big deal. We move.
So did your parents like have any explicit expectations from you? Because like my parents didn't necessarily. Like it was all
So
be successful, do what you want, but you love it, la di da.
so it was a little bit different. I don't think it was traditional in the sense that engineer
Mm.
banega, doctor banega. You know, it wasn't that type of a
Yeah.
situation. I was always fortunate enough that my parents supported me in whatever I felt like doing because like I explained in the last episode too, this the trajectory that I have taken it's basically
Quite a bit.
parkour. It's parkour, you know. So but it was more of in the sense that when I was younger, I'd say like 8 years old. As the eldest, there were a lot of comparisons between me and my dad. Like not just oh, he looks like him and he has hair like him or whatever, whatever, whatever. It was also like, oh, he talks like him and he has the same interests as him. And I guess that sort of social pressure, implicit pressure, it really made my parents, especially my father, sort of see me develop this sort of image or this concept of who they wanted me to be
Hmm.
when I grew up. And when I did grow up a little bit older, I was one of the most rebellious teenagers of all time. I did some fuck shit when I was in my teenage years. Oh my God.
Yeah,
But
we don't need to delve into that, bro.
we're not doing NDA, bro. But I turned out nothing like the concept that they had in their heads. And that caused a lot of issues between me and them. And that's sort of where the expectations came from in my South Asian household, or that was the nature of the expectations. And I think it took me probably 10 years, 8 to 10 years, ever since I was like 13, 14 is when it sort of started. It took me about
Mm.
10 years to sort of break out of that and not only become recognized as the person that I am and as my own person, but also at the same time recognize my parents for who they are and be able to accept the differences that we have.
Hmm.
So it was a really difficult, long, long road. So much happened in between. Me and my dad, me and my mom, even me and my little brother, honestly. But yeah, it was hard. Expectations can become pretty hard, and when people don't see you turn out the way they want you to turn out in their heads, or just the concept that they have of you in their heads, it gets pretty tough.
Yeah,
'Cause then they
no,
don't know how to treat you anymore.
I completely agree. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess for me, the societal expectations were definitely different being only daughter, youngest child versus like older son. But one thing that I kind of did differently, so my brother's back home in Pakistan and he's with my parents. And, it's nice that they have that family thing. I moved abroad, as you guys know. We are talking from London to Pakistan, just
Oh
to make
yeah.
that clear again. um, Basically, for me at least, I'd say Pakistanis and Indians and other South Asians, a lot of them really like to move out of the country. Okay, it's a thing to kind of better your life and get more opportunities and do more and
Yeah, no,
stuff.
the quote unquote American dream.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Yeah.
it still exists. I'm trying to live it, so it's going there. But then you have that expectation to make sure you do well there. So it's like every time I go home, everyone I meet, whether it be family, whether it be friends, being like, "Oh, you moved out, you're doing so great." Things like that. Little do they know I'm living like paycheck to paycheck, figuring out my day to day like that. So having to navigate that expectation is quite hard because especially when you're on visas and you're going into like this, I'm not going to get into the logistics of it, but that fear of not knowing where your future is, coming back to a South Asian environment after, it's that notion of like you failed to leave.
Mhm. That's a very interesting perspective. I've never thought of it that way. I've never
Yes.
experienced it either, so that's probably why. But wow.
Because I
Um,
mean, we have a really strong community. I'd say you can always, the one thing that about brown families, especially if you have a decent relationship with them, is you can always go back home. Like
yeah.
you always have that expectation and understanding that that space is for you, whether you're 40 or like 5, it doesn't matter. You have that space. But it also comes with that added nuance that when you are trying to build yourself and be successful and your parents have actively let you go, then you have to keep up with it.
And I guess that's sort of where this whole concept of failure being so heavy sort of like just like loops into it as well.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
guess that's
100%.
definitely something that we deal with all the time in our 20s. You don't really feel it up until you're still, I'd say, I mean, I don't know. I guess that would be a bit of a privileged way to look at it, but I think after graduation is when you really start to feel it because
Hmm.
the people who are fortunate enough to have the support of their parents through university, like myself and Manal were, once that sort of goes away, and you sort of get into adult corporate life, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's just me now. It's just me
Yeah,
by
yeah, yeah.
myself on my own.
It
Um,
it's quite a bit. That
yeah, and
weight
it's
of
terrifying. It's terrifying. It's terrifying, definitely.
yeah. Because that weight and that pressure to become your own human is quite big. I mean, at least like so for some of my friends who are also brown, their like changes in moving to a new environment has always been abrupt. Either you get married and you're automatically in a different house, or you start a job in a different country, you've moved the next day, or you're just I don't know, it's a very low chance to move out in the same city, but at least different
That
city,
does
like
not
what Zed,
happen.
yeah, like what Zed did, moving to a different city or something like
Yeah,
that, where you actively change your environment, but it's quite abrupt. So having to navigate that is very hard, I'd say, especially for people, because for brown people, we do it, I'd say, at an older age. Very few kids that I know have probably moved out at the age of like 14, 15, unless they've gone to like boarding school or something like that.
100%.
So so then you have that expectation of like, oh, but I lived in this environment where so many things were taken care of for me for basically most of my life and my early adulthood. And now I just have to do everything myself.
Like
And I'm
that,
not
yeah.
expected to come back
Exactly,
at
exactly.
all because I'm a failure if I do. Or if I'm not doing well, then I've failed at that because I haven't been able to become an adult after actually not necessarily experiencing it throughout my whole childhood. Like,
Yeah.
at least for me personally. So my brother, sorry to call you out, he wasn't that great in school, okay?
Ah,
But so that expectation of bringing the good grades and doing whatnot was brought on me because I was the smarter, book smart kid, and I would bring the good grades home and stuff. So it would
uh-huh.
always be a comparison fight, which is why we didn't necessarily get along as kids, but we got along as we grew up. And like now he's like my bestie, but that's fine. So, but then those expectations, like, unless you've given a regard to your parents since childhood that, hey, I'm not strong at this, I can't do this, that stays forever and ever. And I think it's instilled in a lot of brown kids since childhood, not just in their 20s, right?
For sure, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think you fight a lot of those demons much later on in life. And I also think they surface after you sort of move out, and it's like it all just comes at you at the same time. And that's why failure just feels so heavy. That's why it's always felt so heavy for me as well. Like I am constantly in this sort of loop between I need to do more and I'm doing too much. But if
Hmm.
I don't do too much, I will get left behind.
Yeah.
Then I won't succeed and then I will fail. And then it's so difficult, I think, when you're living the day to day, exactly the way that Manal said, because I am very much in a similar situation. You know, we live to work and we work to live. That's
Yeah.
basically how it is right now. And I think that's true for a lot of people.
We were
Uh,
both working yesterday too. Hey guys, Saturday work
I
day, guys.
was I was literally working
This morning.
this morning before I took a shower for this podcast. I've been up for like 3, 4 hours now. It's just it's hard to stop because again, I mean, I remember this like when I was a kid in the first Smurfs movie, Sofia Vergara, God bless her soul. Um, she said to the main protagonist, I don't remember his name, that
Gargamel?
uh,
No, that's
no,
the
that was the
antagonist.
antagonist, you dumbass.
Okay, my bad, my bad. My bad.
She said to him that the fear of failure is a great motivator. And I don't think I ever understood what that meant up until a few years ago, up until a year ago. Because no, that's what it is. I'm so scared of failing that I never stop working.
Yeah,
That's about it.
that that is how it is. I mean, for me, that was how it is as a kid because, like, I didn't want to see like any disappointed faces in my parents ever. So, like, it was just constant do this, do good at it, do this, do better at it, and just
Um,
keep progressing. And honestly, I think I went through burnout as like a teenager,
oh,
but
100% same.
like, which is crazy because usually people don't go through burnout till
Oh
like
my
way
God.
later on in their life. Like, the articles I read were all about burnout in your 30s. I'm like, bro, I'm fucking 16 right now. Like, what do you mean?
No,
What do you mean?
exactly.
So that underlying pressure that you get from your parents, like even if it's not explicitly said, it's just that expectation that you have to follow throughout childhood into adulthood. Like at least for me, I found my own path with it. So I got lucky to get into the arts field. So that really keeps me grounded because it's something that I really enjoy doing. So the stress of it, at least it comes with, okay, but I'm
Doesn't
doing
just feel
something
like
I
work.
love. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that helps. For people who aren't necessarily pursuing their passion, that stress is 100 times
Yeah.
probably worse because
Yeah.
they have to navigate doing something they might not love, but also do well at it, which is the case
Yeah.
for a lot of people as well. And that's way harder. And
For
I mean,
sure.
for now, for me, even though I'm doing what I love, it is still really hard. Like, bro, my visa be ending in August. I don't know my future after that right now. So
Um,
it's just that thing of like, unless you don't have everything figured out, it feels like a bit of a failure.
100%. That's it. That's so true. And I feel like I never really realized, even if I'm just talking about myself, I can't generalize this, but
Mm.
I always just feel like if I don't have everything figured out, it's the same as having nothing figured out.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to sort of make that distinction and just like ground yourself and be like, you are 25. There's no chance you have everything figured out. There's more chance that you have very few things figured out. And that's
Yeah.
actually true. But again, it's just the weight of the failure or any failure, actually, which is just like, nah, you're useless.
Yeah.
You know, like
And I
you're
do think
dumb.
it's a brown thing because it's
It
like
definitely is. It
it's
definitely
like
is.
not even in like just houses, like just from friends. You'll talk with friends and they have similar fears that way. You'll see it in the media, you'll see it in school and stuff. Like that thing of like repeating a year, for example, is looked so badly upon. Failing your exams is looked so badly upon. Well, there was this time, so in the school I went to, after our O level exams, like a decent amount of kids were kicked out, like kids who were there since like nursery. And that was probably the biggest, worst thing to ever happen because the principal decided to change the threshold and whatnot. But to this day, I still hear people talk about it. Like
No, that's
that's
what
how
I'm
big
saying. Exactly.
like
Exactly.
failure is looked at. Even if it's something so small and like, like you'll read about like, I don't know, random people in the Western world of like, I dropped out of college, but I'm doing amazing. Wow, I would get a smack in the face if I decided to
Oh
drop out of
my
college.
God.
Like,
Oh my God. Yeah, no, the first time when I got my A level results, this is like, oh my God, this is so long ago. It was like 7, 8 years ago. I remember someone telling me that uh, I wasted the money spent on my A levels because my results weren't what they wanted them to be.
but
Yeah, yeah. So it's hard. Failure
yeah,
is difficult to cope with, and I think it's something that all of us deal with, and very few of us actually heal from it. I don't think I'm healed from it. I'm
it takes a
very
while.
far. I'm very far actually. But yeah, that
But
is
that's
sort of that's just how it is. And I guess the point of us talking about it is to just let you all know that you are not alone
alone.
in feeling like this. Everybody
Yeah.
deals with this. And maybe it's very possible that it's probably probable that it's not just specific to our South Asian audience, but it's also something that the rest of the people who watch this podcast or listen to it would have dealt with or are dealing with because it's real that your 20s are hard and I think they're very glorified and romanticized,
Mhm.
especially on social media. I mean, another thing that sort of just adds to it is you will always feel like you're behind because everybody posts their best life
Yeah.
on social media and you never get to, because you don't have personal relationships with them, you never get to see the ugly side of it and you only know your own ugly side of it because you go through it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, fuck, I'm so far behind. It's like, what am
Yeah.
I doing with my life? But we don't, it's super hard to sort of realize that you're seeing that because that's what they want you to see.
Yeah.
And what they don't want you to see, they will never let you see.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's comparison's a killer, man. It just
oh, it's the
is.
worst. It's so bad. And it's also so easy in your 20s because again, it's like you will think that everybody else is ahead except for you. And it's a lot easier to look on the outside, but it's a lot harder to look within.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of really just catalog how far you've come in the last year. If I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I think about it, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But then if I really just introspect and look into like the last year, I think it was one of the most transformative years of my life because of all the
Mhm.
things I accomplished. I think we don't give ourselves enough credit, especially where it's due, and we sort of just focus on the really bad stuff and never the good stuff or the stuff that would actually pick us up, you know?
Yeah. 100%. I think that, like, especially like now with the new age of like online, everyone advertises their lives online. People have jobs that way. Social media is such a big thing. And then, of course, that means that they're putting their best selves out there.
I would just like to say something right here. I'm sorry if I'm
Yeah.
cutting you off. Fucking LinkedIn, bro. Oh my god.
This is an active LinkedIn hitting platform,
Oh,
guys. We did it the last episode. We're back again today.
bro, people on LinkedIn, oh, everybody's a fucking millionaire, bro. Everybody is a corporate veteran. Everybody knows how corporate works. Everybody knows how AI works. Everybody has their lives completely sorted out. They're getting 15 bonuses a year. Like, it's so annoying, bro. Just the,
Bro, if
the,
you look at
the
my LinkedIn, I'm
narrative.
also one of those people, but
Bro,
like,
fuck LinkedIn, bro. I don't use LinkedIn. I don't post on social media. Fuck that shit.
yeah, so that's one way that we are different. So that's why I also understand. My LinkedIn is stellar, top tier. Hey guys, hire me. Search my LinkedIn. It's my full name. That's all you need. But it's just that, yes, it's also that whole habit of a lot of the things like my art account, stuff like that. I publish things because I want to. Like we're doing this
Yeah,
podcast because
Mel
I
has
want
a
to.
fire ass portfolio website, bro. She's gonna make
Thanks.
mine soon.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
But basically the way it is the other stuff like LinkedIn or even like your main Instagram, stuff like that, you're kind of in this environment of like, okay, everyone else is posting their best self. You need to too. Or it's like, no one's going to hire you unless your LinkedIn is perfect. Or you have to put this positive outlook on your Instagram, you know? It's like, there's so many expectations that are just everywhere about those things. And especially for me, the reason that I'm online and I'm actively posting otherwise is because it's like, oh, if you're not doing that as well as your CV, as well as your job, as well as your other things, you're not going to get hired. You're not good enough, guys, like actually. So it's like that. And then you're forced to compare yourself with the others in that way, inherently. Like,
uh-huh.
whether it be like if you're trying to become a gym influencer, you're going to be watching everyone else's, and then whatever bullshit they're posting, even if it's not good for you, if it's getting the views, you're probably going to do the same thing. Same thing with LinkedIn. Those people who post like those motivational messages, and I'm like, bro, you haven't even graduated yet. Like,
Oh my
this is what I
god.
learned in my 2 day course. Okay, guys,
Don't even get
learn.
me started, bro.
But then it's like, oh shit, okay, this person's doing so much. I need to do the same.
Yeah, because they
And
make
then you're
every
in that
single
cycle.
tiny little thing sound like the cure for cancer, bro.
Which I mean, inherently is not a bad thing to represent your wins and whatnot. But it's just that it's more now of like, hey, look at me. I'm amazing. And
Ugh.
that's like such a bad, oh my God, it just pisses me off. That's
Man.
not actually you. I feel like there's so many authentic people out there as well on social media, but it's probably just like 2%. It's actually nice and refreshing to see that.
Oh, so true. Yep.
And it's just a little unfair that the world kind of wants everyone to have this picture perfect
Yeah,
cover
just a
when it comes to
singular
their
narrative.
presentation. Yeah.
And I guess that's
And
sort of
Black
really
Mirror episode coming out soon.
100%. I mean, it all seems so utopian, but it's actually so terribly dystopian because nobody's actually trying to build connections. It's literally connect on LinkedIn. Nobody's
Yeah.
actually connecting, bro.
No.
It's a fucking rat race, I guess is what I
Trust
would
me,
call
I've
it.
tried. I've tried. The amount of people I've sent LinkedIn requests to actually connect with, you don't get responses, bro.
Yeah, you
You
don't get
don't.
responses. So true. The other day, basically, one of the projects that I've been working on is related to GRC and compliance as a service. And I found this dude just randomly on LinkedIn. He had actually sent me a connection request. So
Wow,
I
famous.
yeah, so so I just decided to go through his profile, and I saw in his profile that he was a manager. He was a compliance manager at some XYZ company. And so I was like, okay, maybe I should just reach out to him and ask him if he would be willing to actually connect with me and help me out and we could just talk about it and have a chat about what I'm
Mhm.
building and what he thinks about it. And
Aired.
not aired. He said he would and then he never did.
Oh. Oh damn. Ghosted.
Yeah, for real,
Even
bro.
worse.
I
Even
got
worse.
even
Yeah,
though
it's
his text is the last text on the thread, but yeah, I got
oh
ghosted. So it's like
damn. Yeah.
I don't
It's
even
just
know.
it's yeah, it's just how it is, which is why like I think it's so important to right now actually focus on finding your own way, regardless of like whatever is
100%.
happening.
100%. You focus on
There's
your journey.
it's definitely way harder. I completely get it. I mean, especially like if you're from a South Asian household, we're instilled on that to begin with. And then it doesn't make it any better that globally you see it constantly on your phone, on people, like within people around you, etc., wherever you are. But genuinely, the ones who are happiest in life are the people who are working on their own path.
Yeah, bro. I don't care about social media that much. And I used to care. I used to post relatively decently. And then I think a few years ago, I sort of just stopped because of the thing. I found myself making a lot of comparisons, you know. Um,
Mm,
in a way, it sort of made me a little bit more ungrateful too when I was doing
mm-hmm,
that because I would not see what I was doing because I was only paying attention to what the others were doing. And it was just a lot of noise, I guess is the best way to explain it. It was just ridiculous amounts of noise. And that's sort of when I don't know what happened, but one day I was just like,
I
and
love that for you, bro.
yeah, I haven't posted in a really long time. I don't use LinkedIn. I barely use LinkedIn. I mean, I use LinkedIn just to apply to jobs. I don't do it for networking or any of that bullshit. I think it's stupid. I use the I use the jobs section of LinkedIn. I do not go on my feed.
Well, it's originally a job board, so it's fine.
Exactly, exactly. I'm using it for what it was intended for. It's not a fucking social media platform. And yeah, I feel like I'm a lot better. I feel like I rate myself a lot higher in a
Mm,
sense. And I recognize how far I've come and the accomplishments that I actually have. So it has worked out for me. And maybe it won't work out for everybody, but it did for me. And it sort of really helped me focus on myself and be able to find my own path and
mhm.
find meaning, a real, actual, genuine meaning in the things that I'm doing for myself and my life.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, I'd still say that was a great way for you to find your path. And I completely also agree that not everyone does that. But I know loads of
Yeah,
people
for
who've done
sure.
it like you. And then the same way that, so I kind of pivoted in a slightly different direction, using these platforms to hone my own craft on that aspect, which is like, okay, fine, everyone's posting trends, but why can't I use it as an online portfolio? Why can't I be happy and proud of the things I post? It's not a rat race. It's more of like, if I want to be within that online world or within the community on that aspect, there's so many things that I can do where I can just share myself and be authentic instead. I don't need to follow or compare on that aspect, which is
For
what's
sure.
the way that I went. And then at least in the real world, which is off online world, it was that same aspect of like, okay, I don't need to compare myself with someone who might have found a job in finance by now because I'm not in finance. I'm in a creative lifestyle. I'm figuring out things differently. More of being able to accept the situation that you genuinely can't compare yourself with a lot of people because everyone's lifestyle and way of living and the way they're pursuing things is so different. Well, how do scientific comparisons happen? What's the words? I didn't study science, but like the hypothesis has to be the same. Whatever. I don't know. The- I sound like a
What?
dumbass right now. The deciding fact, the beginning factors have to be the same, right? To actually get in a true comparison when you're testing things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can't necessarily compare yourself with other people on that aspect
So
because you
true.
genuinely need to find ones in the same field, same state of mind, whatnot, and you probably won't.
Yeah,
So that's like
because
understanding that
they're
is a
either
big
not
thing.
gonna have the same experience as you, or they won't be willing to share it and only be willing to share their live, laugh, love, whatever fucking stupid mantras are going on out there nowadays.
going on out there nowadays. You
I'm
sound
a
like an
social
old
media
uncle.
hater. I'm a
Hmm.
hater. So that was
I
an
get that.
obvious already. Yeah. If anybody goes through my received reels, like if any of my friends see this, they will hate me afterwards because I intentionally don't look at the shit that they sent to me. There are
Yeah,
very few
I don't
people.
message him on social media. It's just WhatsApp,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It don't work no more. I tried to do streaks. I broke all of them. I have messages unopened on my WhatsApp from 2023.
Okay, that's just crazy. That's just actually crazy.
Fuck that. I
Yeah,
don't
no, I'm
care.
the
Don't
opposite.
message me.
I don't have any unread emails. I don't have any unread anything. Like, it's all
Well,
read. Like, I'm
I think I have like
actively,
12,000 unopened emails
no, I'm
on
there.
one
I'm one
Gmail
with it.
account. On one Gmail account.
That's crazy. That red circle pisses me off. But
Huge.
I don't
Mine
know,
is
that's
huge.
probably just
It's
a
in like the
personal
5 digits.
issue. But I can't deal with that. But oh well. I think not reading or reading messages does not change your path in life. Maybe it
Definitely not.
does.
I don't know how we got here. Whoa.
But at the end of the day, it's just more about figuring out what you enjoy doing, man. At that point, it's like even not in the bigger picture, just the smaller things. Whether you like being online, whether you like certain hobbies and you can fit them in your day, just doing small things that you enjoy will inherently make you want to do larger things over time. That
Yeah,
will help you find your way to
yeah, for
actually
sure.
actively living a life that you don't fucking hate.
And I think another thing that goes a long way in helping, I forced myself to do the things that scared the living shit out of me.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's something that's really gone my way. I did it when I got into this field at first. I did it with data. I did it with coding. I did it with moving out, learning how to
Hmm.
cook. I have like such a nice scar right here because
From
I
learning
moved
how to
out
cook.
and decided to cook. Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, so just do the shit that scares the shit out of you, basically. Force yourself. And you'll either love it or you'll hate it, but you'll still have done it. And
Yeah, man.
then you can just move on to the next thing that scares the living shit out of you.
Pretty much. And it can be something literal too. I do combat sports.
Exactly.
That it quite literally
Exactly.
scares the living shit out of people.
It can
But
definitely
I
be
love it.
something like so.
Yeah, and I love it. And those 2 hours a day, whether it's at the gym or something else, it keeps me alive and sane and makes me keep going. So it's just having those things, those healthy ways of coping and those other ways of just figuring stuff out and giving yourself an avenue to breathe is so important when you're finding your way. And even if it scares you at first, you genuinely don't know what the result will be. That's kind of the point of trying new things, anyways,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's how you try food and find out you like it. Like,
Mhm.
pretty much same aspect. So I think that finding your way is more than just picking to do the one thing you like because there's so many things in the world to actually do and try and figure out, and your path might change. Like, for example, Zed's path has changed 3 times with what he likes to do and enjoys in his life, and it might change again.
Oh,
my
so true. Yeah, very possible.
my path inherently steers from multiple different directions. I thought I was going to be a game designer by now. Not happening. I'm
No.
not interested in that world anymore. But it's
No.
just being able to try those things and be like, okay, I liked it or I didn't like it. And then you move on. And yes, it can be a privilege to even get to try certain things. But that's why it's important to start small
Yeah,
and try the little things first. You don't have to actively make those sacrifices of changing the big things in your life. You just need a few things in the start to just make things a bit better.
for
That's
sure.
what I think.
Without a doubt. No, I completely 100% second that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what'd you guys think of that conversation, huh? Heavy?
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Our Y2T2 session, guys.
Yeah,
That
that was
was
episode 2.
off.
Y2T2. Your 20s in the 2020s.
But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this
Yeah,
episode
me
of
too.
Your 20s in the 2020s. This
Luna
is
didn't have
Manal
much
and
to say,
Zed.
but Luna didn't have much to say, but that's just because
She's there.
she's out, bro.
She's doing something she enjoys. She found her way. Guys, learn from Luna.
Hell
You
yeah.
see? You see? She's living her best life, guys.
He
We
really
need to
is,
level up.
bro. He doesn't have any stress, nothing. She yells at me when she wants food. She yells at me when she wants attention, and other times she's just sleeping. So
Dude, I
that's
think
it. That's
that's the
it, bro.
goal. That's the goal in life.
My goal in
I,
life is not to get rich. My goal in life is to be able to live like a cat,
yes.
and that's only possible
You
if
hit the
I'm
nail in the coffin.
yeah. That's only possible if I'm insanely successful. But anyways,
Yeah.
we're dragging now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, I hope you guys liked this session and stay tuned for the next one. We'll be
yep,
discussing even more things. It might be deep, it might not be, but we'll see you.
for sure. Take care, guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.